It's a beautiful fall evening, and we are at Los Altos High School in Los Altos. Tonight is the Pride Bowl, a renewal of the contest between the Los Altos High School Eagles and their crosstown rivals, the Mountain View High School Spartans. Both of these teams have run the gauntlet getting here. They played a COVID-shortened season last year that was delayed until the spring, and this season they had to navigate their way through pandemic restrictions, air quality canceled games, and uncertain scheduling due to the availability of game officials. Tonight, however, we have a Friday night football game with lights, cheering squad, the band, a full set of stands, and two teams who both badly want to defeat their rival. It's great to be back. I'm Mark Diamond, and we have KMVT Friday Night Football. We're getting ready for the coin toss. Mountain View plays in the Central Coast De Anza section, and Los Altos belongs to the lower division El Camino. Mountain View arrives in town with a 1-1 record, blanking Kings Academy 31-0 for their first season opener, but falling a single point short in their second game to Archbishop Mitty last week, 35-34. This is the first regular season home game for the Eagles. Los Altos comes to tonight's game with a single win from an abbreviated two-quarter game against Independence High School a couple weeks ago. Because they belong in different leagues, tonight's game is a non-conference contest. The last time these two teams faced each other was way back in 2019, and back then the Spartans trounced the Eagles 34-6. I think tonight Los Altos wants to even that score, and we're getting ready to have the captains go out for the the coin toss. On the captain side for Los Altos, we have number 14, Ming Park, number 75, John O'Sullivan, and number 80, Cole Rafferty. For the Spartans, we have Jackson Steffen, number 10, the quarterback. We have number 20, Min Kant. We have number 66, David Lopez, and then we have one more player who's blocked a little, number 26, which is Caleb Uckland. And so we'll see who actually comes up with the toss. The weather tonight is perfect. It's about 70 degrees. There's a very light breeze. We're looking forward to a beautiful fall, cool evening, and just the spirit of the stadium, the spirit of all the people. It really feels like tonight is a milestone that we're getting past a lot of stuff. And so the coin is tossed. We'll see who comes up with it. And we'll see who it calls. So Mountain View wins the toss. And they are going to defer, but they are then going to defend the north end to start with. Tonight's game is the Pride Bowl. This is perhaps the most important game of the year for both of these teams. This rivalry goes back decades, with the victory spread fairly even between the two teams. If you talk to past players from throughout the years, almost all will tell you that regardless of the season's overall record, if they defeated their rival, and for the Spartans that's obviously beating the Eagles, or if the Eagles beat the Spartans, regardless of the overall record for the season, if the team prevailed at this Pride Bowl, they're going to say it was a good season. Due to scheduling of game officials, this season is happening a little bit earlier than it has traditionally been played. Traditionally, this is played almost at the last or nearly the last game of the season. And I should say that the winner of this contest will go home tonight with the Pride Bowl trophy. Get their name etched as a winner. And examination of the trophy, it's actually fairly even. Total wins for both teams are about the same over the last 3 or 4 decades. And as always, we're really looking towards a great game. And we are going to stand for our national anthem. Yes. All right, we're ready for some football after that nice performance by the Los Altos Marching Band for the national anthem. Los Altos has a 29-person roster, and Mountain View has a slightly bigger 37-person roster. These numbers are down from historic roster sizes, which typically numbered anywhere between 40 to 50 players. The pandemic scrambled many teams' rosters last year, with some players moving to schools where they could play, and some of the players just didn't play. And last year it hurt recruiting efforts a little bit, so it's impacting. But both teams are coming back and actually seeing a fairly good turnout for this year's freshman class. And so, again, this is rebounding, and we're getting back to normal as we get ready for the kickoff. That was Cole Rafferty bringing it back. Cole brought it back to about the 15-yard line. Brought down a reasonably good return. Fairly good kick. And that's, of course, going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Los Altos Eagles. Okay, we have a long ball down the field, and that is almost caught, but there is a flag coming down. Zach Fagan was there for the catch, but we're going to see how they call that. That was a good 40-yard throw. It's passer interference against Mountain View, so Los Altos is going to get a first down off of that. They're going to bring up the sticks. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty. We all remember in high school football, it's 15 yards and not the spot of the foul, but they're going to place the ball on the Los Altos 31-yard line. First and 10 snap to Greg Schumann. Greg tries to make his way up the middle through the crease, gets maybe a couple yards out of that. Second and 8 now for Los Altos. Handoff to Zach Fagan. Zach cuts around the left-hand side, is able to squeeze maybe 3 yards out of that. That's going to bring up third down now and about 3. Interesting to watch the Temple of Los Altos. They've never really had a hurry-up offense. They've always been very deliberate in that, and we're feeling that tempo right now. High snap. Oh, picked up number 7, but picked off by number 26, Caleb Eklund. And we'll see if there's any flags, but if not, that's going to be the first turnover of the game. That bounced out, and Caleb was able to grab it. Let's see what that looks like in the replay. Yep. All right, 1st and 10. Spartans on the Los Altos 20-yard line. Jackson Steffen. Throw to the right. Intended for Joe Brown. Looks like Thomas Schumann was there to interrupt it. So that's going to bring 2nd and 10 for Los Altos. A little surprising to see Mountain View. They throw that ball. Their preference is really to run the ground game. Dylan Daniels, the carry, he's going to go up the right side. He's going to get about 6 yards into it. That's going to bring 3rd and 4 yards left. Mountain View comes to this game as the favorite over Los Altos, but it should be noted, any long-term fan of the Pride Bowl knows that anything can happen during these games. There have been many upsets over the years where a higher-ranked team has been defeated by a lower-ranked one. All we can say is welcome to the Pride Bowl. Clem is the ball carrier. Or I should say Daniels. Check that. Daniels the ball carrier. Daniels was able to get a 1st down for Mountain View. Ball sits on the 16-yard line. Mountain View's going to try and put some points on the board very quickly. Officials are wanting the clock to start. There we go. Okay, 1st and 10. Hand off to Daniels. Daniels going to take it all the way into the end zone for the first touchdown of the evening for the Spartans. Let's see on that. Little handoff, really sweeping to the right, cutting right into the end zone. And that is good for the extra point. So with 9:31 left in the first quarter, Mountain View Spartans take a 7-0 lead over the Los Altos Eagles. You know, lights were installed in both Los Altos and Mountain View stadiums in 2020, and they were used a little bit during the spring season last year, or this year, in spring this year. But this is the first official fall night football game at Los Altos Stadium. So a bit of a historic moment for us tonight. It's great to see so many students out here, so many families. It's just a complete difference from last year, and then just quite frankly the feeling. And then I think so many of the fans are here just happy to be out on a Friday night watching football. Good kick, and that's going to sail about 40 yards. And a little extra motion there, signaling by the Spartans. Nope. A few people indicating like it was a turnover, but that's not the case. So that ball is going to be returned to the 25-yard line, 1st and 10 Los Altos. Head coach David De Geronimo told his team that they were going to be underdogs in this contest. I mean, that was part of what he told them. He said, listen, you are the underdogs. 1st and 10. Nice throw. Caught by Zach Fagan. Zach is able to make about 30 yards on that play, and they're going to see where they're going to spot that, probably about the 45-yard line. And so check that, make that the 44-yard line, but close enough. Good throw and good catch by Zach Fagan. All right, 1st and 10 Los Altos. We got tackle for a loss there. Jimmy Flynn, the quarterback, handoff. We see how much they lost on that. Jimmy Flynn is a 6'1", 150-pound sophomore. This is his first start on the varsity team. Played last year. Here we go, Los Altos. 2nd and 12 now. Handoff to Greg Schumann, but Greg gets stopped fairly quickly with essentially no gain on that. That's going to maybe give him 3 yards, maybe 2 yards. They're going to bring it back, and now we're going to be left with 3rd and 10. Mountain View really does have the size advantage tonight, expensive, especially in the defensive line. Quick pass, quick shot, and that's going to be all the way out there. Greg Schumann again on that quick reception, and he was able to run it for another 1st down for Los Altos, making his way into Spartan territory on the Spartan 42-yard line. Greg Schumann is a senior, 5'8". Played all 4 years at Los Altos. All right, 1st and 10. Jimmy Flynn looks for some place to go. Pretty much gets stopped pretty hard by number 65, David Lopez. And that's going to be for a 3-yard loss, 2nd and 13 now. All right, we have a timeout, first timeout of the half taken by Los Altos. Los Altos coach David DeGeronimo, as I was mentioning, really told his team that you're coming here as the underdogs. That's oftentimes a very powerful motivation for these teams. If they know it's theirs to win and they're to try hard. We've seen a lot of underdog teams that have been successful, especially in this Pride Bowl over the years. Sometimes the higher rated teams tend to get a little bit overconfident, and that's something that can be exploited by the lower ranked teams. And so coach is really looking to motivate his players and get everybody on board. I don't know if coach just wanted to give him a rest or saw something he didn't like, but we're going to be back into the action. All right, 2nd and 13. Flynn hands off to Ruslan Tavro. Ruslan actually gets some pretty good distance on that. He makes his way up the left, 10-yard run. He's going to get stopped about, let's call it 3 yards before the line of gain, leaving 3rd and 3. Again, this is Los Altos Eagles style. They tend to be a little slower, more methodical, but making their way up the team and very good at wearing out the opponent. Conditioning is a big part of Los Altos' strategy. Okay, Flynn, long throw, and that is caught. A really good caught by Zach Fagan, the junior. And again, Jimmy Flynn for his really varsity debuts, making some very good throws here. A lot of people around that ball, but Zach was able to take it in. They're going to spot that on the 24-yard line, 1st and 10, Los Altos. Officials want to get the clock going. In these high school football games, sometimes the biggest technical challenge is running these scoreboards. I've run them myself, and they can be complicated. There we go. Clock is running and the game is going on. There is no more high-pressure job in this stadium than running the scoreboard. All right, looks like they're going to want to reset the time on the clock. It's 3:11. It looks like they're going to want to bring it back to 4:14, I'm guessing. Now, neither team has had a lot of playing time this year. The season to date, Mountain View has played only 8 full quarters, while Los Altos has only played fewer than 2 quarters. We'll see tonight whether this extra game time actually helps Mountain View. I mean, scrimmages are great, practices are great, but there's nothing like actual game time. All right. Pitch to Flynn. Flynn hands it off to Greg Schumann, and Greg gets stopped fairly quickly. Again, the defensive line, when they're running for it for Mountain View, is pretty good at finding the gap so far. We've seen a number of tackles for a loss so far. And I think this is how tonight's contest is shaping up. Mountain View's going to want to run the ground game. Los Altos is going to want to throw the ball, and we're going to see which is more successful. Mountain View tends to be bigger. Los Altos tends to be a little bit more agile. And 2nd and 12. Long pass, Flynn. Intended for Cole Rafferty. Cole was trying to get there. No flags down on that. Just basically crowded out of the ball. Couldn't quite get it, but again, 3rd and 12. Jimmy Flynn is really being pretty aggressive with some of these throws, and he's making them. Okay, crucial 3rd down for the Eagles. 3rd and 13. Flynn is being hunted down. He gets sacked way back there on the 40-yard line. Calvin Conaway and Adonis Vete with the sack for Mountain View, and that's going to push Los Altos way, way back, pretty much out of field goal territory on the Mountain View 39-yard line. So obviously it looks like Los Altos is going to go for it. Long throw by Flynn. That is almost caught by Ben Bakke. Wouldn't have been enough for a 1st down, but he couldn't quite stay in bounds and catch it at the same time. And so that is going to turn over the ball to the Spartans on downs. 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in this 1st quarter. Mountain View still leads 7-0 over Los Altos. And 1st and 10 Spartans. Probably more so than in previous years with these reduced roster sizes, it really comes down to a lot of key players. And with the right people, and this is always true, these teams can do very well. Handoff to Arturo Hernandez. Hernandez is enough not only get the 1st down, all the way make it into Eagles territory. Get pushed out. Let's see if he got all the way there. It's going to be very close to midfield. No, smidgen out. It's still going to be in Spartan territory, but we'll call it close enough tonight. Mountain View now is just going to try and run, and wear down Los Altos. Again, they've got the slight size advantage and numbers in the roster. Handoff again to Hernandez. And he makes it, but a flag went down in the backfield. Let's see what this flag is about. We'll see if this is getting Los Altos are going to pull it back. Probably holding, but we'll have to see. Holding against the Spartans. So, yes, it is going to go back. And that's going to be 10-yard penalty, and it's going to remain first down, 1st and 20. You can sort of see the hold there. On the replay. There we go. And we have another flag down. I don't know if everybody's lined up on that one. All right, a false start against Mountain View. So still remains first down, but they are going backwards. It's going to be 1st and 25 now. Spartans have sort of squandered that nice run that Hernandez did, pushing themselves way back, and a long way to go for first down. Or I should say another first down. Min Khan is juking his way through. Very good run by Min. Making up the right-hand side. He's going to get about 16 of those yards back. Maybe more. Yeah, more than that. He's actually going to get 20 yards, Min, on that run. That's going to leave a very reasonable 2nd and 5 for the Spartans. Jackson Steffen, the quarterback, he hands off the ball. To Min Khan, and Min on that play is only able to squeeze out a couple yards of that. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 3. Los Altos really needs to get the stop here. Spartans had some of the momentum, and if they can arrest this momentum, this could really help them change the tone of the game. And with that, we have the end of the first quarter. So after 12 minutes of football, we have Mountain View Spartans leading 7 over the Los Altos Eagles 0. All right, we're back. Beginning of the second quarter. 3rd and 3 for Los Altos. Kevin Clem is running off the right-hand side, gets drive, but a little bit of a tussle for the ball there. Los Altos trying to rip it out, but unsuccessfully. And so with that, the Spartans are going to get their first down, making their way into Los Altos Eagles territory. Again, a lot of long drives so far in this game. We had one turnover, an interception by Los Altos. We've had a number of penalties out there. And they're still trying to get that clock going. Okay, which it is. 1st and 10 Spartans. Jackson Steffen decides to run with it. He's going to run up the right-hand side, but not get too far. Actually, he's going to be pushed back to the line of scrimmage. We'll get to see what forward progress is, but there is a flag down. All right, and personal foul, blindside block against Mountain View. And that's going to be expensive. That's going to be 15 yards. You know, it seems like just as Mountain View starts making some forward momentum, they're having these penalties. It is costing them, and it's not only costing them in yardage, it's costing them momentum, because now they are back in Los Altos Eagles side, in their own side of the field. They're out of Los Altos Eagle territory, and they've got first and 25 yards to go now. We're close to that, a little bit less than that. Jackson Steffen pitches it to Kevin Clem. Kevin, pretty good run. He got a good 14 or 15-yard run off the left-hand side. He's going to be able to get all the way out to the 35. That's going to sort of erase that penalty and leave them second and about 9 yards. Again, with these reduced roster sizes, it's really coming down to having the right key players and keeping them healthy and keeping them in the game. But we saw this with Los Altos and last year and Mountain View. You know, with the right guys executing, you can still do very well, even with the smaller teams that we're seeing. 2nd and 9. Hand off to Kevin Clem again. Kevin again making up the left-hand side. It looks like Los Altos believes there's a weakness in that, and so they're exploiting that. We've got a player a little slow to get up. Looks like that all's good. Okay. 3rd and 4. Again, critical stop. Slightly out of field goal territory for the Spartans. If the Eagles can get a stop here, we've said this before, this could help change the momentum of the game. All right, 3rd. Off to Jackson Steffen. They're going to try and run up the middle. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. We'll have to go see. Min Khan, the ball carrier. And I'll wait for the official ruling, but it looks like it's going to be 4th and 1 and short. So good stuff for Los Altos, and a decision for Mountain View. Again, a bit long for field goal attempt. They're going to obviously go for it then, see if they can squeeze out that extra yard or two. Get that first down. Oh, and they may get it anyway. There's a flag. Somebody moved. We'll see if it's encroachment by Los Altos. Yes, it is again, and they don't need to get the first down. They got it with penalties. Again, one of the key issues we're seeing, and this is especially true tonight with this game, is nerves. Having such a big game so early in the season with limited reps is really a recipe for nervous players. The key will be limiting mistakes. The team that settles down and finds its rhythm early will really be at a big advantage. And you got to wonder, was that encroachment just nerves? All right. Min Khan, again, the ball carrier running up the right-hand side. He's going to junk away, get another 5 yards there. 2nd and 5 now. The other issue with the Spartans' run-dominated game is just the stamina of their own offensive line and the stamina of the defensive line linebackers on Los Altos side. You know, who's going to tire first? Jackson Steffen scrambling, almost tackled in the backfield, but not. He's actually able to make it, squirt on up the middle, and get to about the 9-yard line. I think that's going to be a first down. Yeah, first down for the Spartans. 1st and goal on the 9-yard line. That was basically a scramble. pocket collapsed on him, but he still found a way out of it. Jackson Steffen, a senior, has also played for Mountain View for all 4 years. So we have a senior quarterback versus a sophomore quarterback. Okay, 1st and goal. Up. And we've got a timeout. And that's the 2nd timeout of the half taken by Los Altos. You know, it's interesting because these teams are local. The high schools are really a little bit more than a couple miles apart. A lot of these players know players on the other team. Some of them went to the same school, elementary schools together. Many of them were on the same little league teams, and so they know each other and they know the players. And sometimes familiarity does breed rivalry, and that's the case for this. I mean, there's a lot of rivalry between these two teams. All right, Spartans are going to try and finish this drive. 1st and goal. They can avoid the penalties. They want to increase their lead. 9:32 left in the 2nd quarter, 7-0. Spartans over the Eagles. That's a handoff to Andre Marias. Andre able to get a little bit out of that, maybe 2 or 3 yards. 2nd and goal now. And let's see a replay on that. Looks like that ball may have been dropped on the snap, but lost a little bit on that. Nope. Yeah, just a little, couldn't quite get his hands on it, handoff, and so good for them to recover. It would have been a disaster to have that as a turnover. 3rd down and goal now. Obviously a critical play for Mountain View. And they are able to cut all the way on the left-hand side, and touchdown for the Mountain View Spartans. Kevin Clem, the ball carrier, bringing up the left-hand side. And that's going to increase Mountain View's lead. See the replay on that. Almost fumbled that, but picked it. Actually did fumble it, dropped it, and Kevin Clem was quick enough to be able to see it and pick it up, and was able to turn a mistake into a score. So good for them. And Kevin Clem, number 6, is kicker Jackson Steffen, holder. And that is good for the PAT. All right, with 7 minutes left in the 2nd quarter, 14-0 lead, and we're going to take a short break. Back in the 2nd quarter, 7:06. Mountain View's taking a 14-0 lead. Good kick into the backfield. Picked up by Zach Vagan. Zach gets bounced around a little bit, gets pulled back. They're going to call forward progress on that, probably about the 29-yard line. Although there's going to be an injury timeout, player down on the field, Mountain View player down on the field. we're going to take a brief break during this injury timeout and get back to you in just a minute. Okay, we're back. Injured player is Jose de Dios. Looks like we're hoping just a sprained left ankle, but hobbling off the field. But that's our hopes for them, and everybody give it applause for Jose for sticking it out. Okay. So now we're back. Los Altos ball. It's on their own 29-yard line. 1st and 10. Short completion. That went to Cole Rafferty. And that's, good for a good 7 yards there. We'll see where they spot it. Yeah, about second and, call it 8 yards, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 2 right now, 8-yard gain. Again, Jimmy Flynn with his varsity debut, a number of pretty good completions from this quarterback. And that handoff got stopped pretty quickly. Ruslan Tavro, the ball carrier, and he may have lost a couple yards on that one. Looks like the Spartans were anticipating that and all over him. All right, the officials are talking to the Los Altos staff. Personal foul against Los Altos. Okay, I didn't see the flag, but obviously a flag, and so that's going to be 15 yards, if I read that signal right. Didn't see the flag, but will be a penalty, so that's these penalties. It's going to be 2nd down and about 20 yards. Really end up spotting it. I don't know if it was a personal foul, so it was during the play. It wasn't unsportsmanlike conduct, but that's heard. Okay. Long throw intended for Cole Rafferty, number 80. A little bit left, not quite catchable, and so 3rd and 20 now. Spartans did a pretty good job of pressuring Jimmy Flynn. I don't know if he had to throw that a little bit earlier than he intended, but did a pretty good job of pressuring him. And that gives us 4th down. And obviously the punt squad comes onto the field, special teams. Good punt, and that's going to be out a 42-yard punt fielded by Kevin Clem. But Kevin is making up left-hand side all the way down to the 20. Stopped about the 18-yard line, so very nice return for Kevin Clem. And again, Spartans are back into 1 yard away from red zone territory within Los Altos, but they're really looking to put a lot of points on the board. 5:33 left in this half. Jackson Steffen ready for the snap for Mountain View. That ball's handed off. brought down by John O'Sullivan, but there's a flag that came down right as the tackle was being made. Let's see if that was a good tackle or not. Uh-oh. That looks like it's going to be a personal foul, a horse collar against Los Altos. And that is going to cost them another 15 yards and give the Spartans a first down. And that's going to bring the ball all the way to the 9-yard line. Actually, not 15 yards, half the distance to the goal. But that's going to first and goal for the Spartans. Good throw. Good catch. And another touchdown for the Spartans. Stefan got that ball off. Let's see, catch on the replay. No replay on that, but that's going to bring up a 20-0 lead, and it looks like they're going to go for the PAT. 4:46 left. And that is good. And that's going to be 21-0. Spartan lead over the Eagles, and we will be back. Okay, we're ready back. Mountain View number 8 ready to kick. Good kick. That's going to be about a 55-yard kick. Fielded by Zach Fagan again, but Zach is going to be stopped on the 20-yard line by a gaggle of Spartans. Maybe I should say a phalanx of Spartans there. A quick stop. You know, for both of these teams, it's really still in a rebuilding phase. Los Altos trying to recover their teams from the pandemic, moving right in the right direction. Mountain View is a little bit farther along, being in the De Anza, the more difficult De Anza League. But both of them really have aspirations of rebuilding and strengthening their football programs. 1st and 10 Eagles. Jimmy Flynn throws it again, intended for Cole Rafferty, but again, this one is a little bit left. And I don't know if he was just trying to avoid the coverage or just a little bit quick, but not quite catchable, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Again, a good crowd of students here, of parents. Just a beautiful, beautiful fall evening. Both teams have come out both teams' fans have come out in force to support their teams. And it just feels like a regular fall football team, a football game, which is wonderful. 2nd and 10. Jimmy Flynn intended for Fagan, but Zach couldn't quite get a hand on it. A little bit high. And the challenge for Los Altos is Jimmy Flynn is a bit of a rookie, being a sophomore. But also they're looking at him as a long-term player for the next 3 seasons. This season, the next 2 seasons here at Los Altos. Hoping to develop, David Geronimo wants to get a really seasoned quarterback developed. All right, 3rd and 10 Eagles. Long throw to not really anybody. I I don't think there were any players there. I have to think that Flynn was pressured again. Los Altos knows that they're going to be better off throwing the ball, as we've talked about. But really, the receivers have to get in position there, and weren't quite in position. And again, you got to wonder, this is really just the fourth quarter for the entire season that Los Altos has really been playing because of the starts and stops. Okay, good punt, fair catch signaled, and caught by Kevin Clem about on the 47-yard line. 4:15 left in this half. Although I did flag down on the plate, I didn't see that. Oh, a personal foul against Mountain View Spartans. Okay, so that's going to cost them 15 yards after the kickoff. Obviously happened after they caught the ball. And that's going to push them back deeper into their own territory. All said and done, they're going to spot the ball on the Spartan 33-yard line, 1st and 10. Handoff to Kevin Clem. Kevin gets brought down pretty quickly there by Zach Fagan, so maybe a yard or two, if even that. Now basically no gain on that play. 2nd and 10. Zach really anticipated that run, saw it, and was all over it. Zach is a junior, 5'11", 160 pounds. Second down. Little pitch to Min Khan. Min Khan makes it past the line again, about to midfield. Finally gets stopped. But that's going to be a 1st down for the Spartans. See a little replay there. Pitch to Min. Zach Fagan going in for the tackle, but couldn't quite get there quick enough. And with that, Min was able to get a good 20 yards on that run. 1st and 10 Spartans. And that was a pitch to Min again. But again, this time anticipated that and tackled for a loss of a couple yards. We'll have to see how much the Eagles are going to be wising up to the run plays that the Spartans are going to run. They seem last series at least to anticipate where they're going a little bit more and being able to stop them a little better. We haven't seen any really long breakthrough runs on behalf of the Spartans. A small screen pass, Arturo Hernandez, and we'll see if that's not quite enough for a 1st down, but that's going to be very close. Officials are going to spot that, and that's going to leave 3rd and 1 yard. Two minutes left in this half. Here we get a timeout. And that's going to be Mountain View's first timeout of the half. They've got 2 more left if they want to use them. And we're going to be back in just a minute. Okay, we're coming back, 3rd and 1 for Mountain View. About 1:47 left in this half. Handoff to Dylan Daniels. Dylan was able to get a little, actually enough for first down. That's a 5 yards, enough for first down, Spartans. Just a beautiful evening out, and I have to say, having lights here in Friday night game, it's just a very different vibe. The energy here, it's different than the traditional games that Los Altos and Mountain View have played on Saturday afternoons, which were very nice, but it feels like a wonderful fall football game. Okay, quick screen pass. Kevin Clem. Kevin is trying to, Kevin blocks his way. Good way. Scrambles all the way to the 20-yard line. Let's see a replay on that by Kevin. He was able to plow his way through. Yeah, little screen pass has that. And notice just knocks over Zach Fagan. Zach is no cupcake by any means, and a lot of momentum on that side, and is able to get another 10 yards out of that. 1st and 10, the Spartans. A little messed up snap there. The snap, errant snap, but botched that. That was able to travel another 10 yards. Jackson Stephan is able to jump on top of that, but that's one of those mistakes that you just can't afford to make. We got about 40 seconds left in the half, and signaling for a timeout. Yeah. And with that botch snap, that's going to leave second, and I'm just going to guess maybe 21, 22 yards. And the officials are going to want to reset the clock to 51 seconds. And every time they do that, I have sympathy for the person who runs the clock, because I know how hard that is. Much harder than announcing, I can tell you that. All right, let's see what the Spartans can do with 51 seconds left. 21-0 over Los Altos. Can they at least get in field goal range, put some more points on the board? Jackson Stephan takes the outside, goes the left-hand side. He actually isn't able to make nothing but maybe 2 or 3 yards on that. Quickly pursued by a number of the Eagles. And that's going to leave up 3rd down and about 20, and really pretty much still out of field goal territory. So my guess is 42 seconds left. He was able to go out of bounds and stop the clock, but not quite the yardage he was looking for. What can they do in 42 seconds? Long throw intended for Joe Brown. Joe had a couple hands on it, couldn't haul it in, and that's going to fall to the ground. Incomplete. 34 seconds left. And 4th down for the Spartans. Again, a little bit out of field goal range. Probably just going to go for it. A little bit too short for a punt. A little bit too long for field goal. We'll see if maybe they can score on this, or at least pin the Eagles back, so they don't want to do anything for the rest of this half. We get the snap. Little screen. Chris Barmore on the reception and the run up the left-hand side. It's not going to be enough for a first down. So turned over to the Eagles on downs with 23 seconds left. You kind of wonder, is David DeGeronimo going to want to just take a knee on this, or is he going to try and do something with these 23 seconds? It may be wise just to take a couple knees and then go back in the locker room and re-strategize, or well, maybe go for it. Who knows? Jimmy Flynn has made some long throws that have connected, and if they can get a couple tries at that, who knows? Just avoid the interception. And after all that speculation, that was right. They did take a knee. They are going to run out, and we are going to end this half. Mountain View Spartans in the Pride Bowl, leading the Pride Bowl 21-0 over the Los Altos Eagles, and we will return with you during the second half. All right, welcome back to the Pride Bowl. This is the Los Altos Eagles hosting the Mountain View Spartans. Just getting ready to start. Mountain View won the toss but deferred, so they will receive during the second half. Drew Battani is going to be the kicker for Los Altos. And that's about a 50-yard kick. Picked up by Din Ali. Din was able to bring it all the way back to about the 39-yard line. Shane Gang is moving forward. Check that 36-yard line. A lot of energy in the stadium, a lot of energy from the fans, both sides. First and 10 Spartans. Kevin Clem running up the right-hand side. But looks like there's some flag laundry on the field. We'll see what that's about. Personal foul against Los Altos, and so that's going to give Spartans obviously a new first down and better field position. That's going to be 15 yards, and that's going to bring them all the way into Eagle territory. We've seen a lot of personal fouls tonight, and that just gets very expensive, those 15-yard penalties. Some frustration possibly among the Eagle players. As we talked about a little bit earlier, just some nerves. This is one of the bigger games of the year. Okay, first and 10 Mountain View. Handoff to Dylan Daniels. Dylan gets brought down, but flag comes out. All right, and let's see what this penalty is about. It looks like a blindside block against Mountain View, and so now it's going to be 15 yards the other way. Back and forth. putting them back into Spartan territory. All right, 1st and 18 now. Bit of a high snap, but enough for Clem to get it and connect with Denali. But that gets dropped. Had it, and we'll see if the replay is restarted right now. We didn't see a lot of Den in the first half, but maybe he's getting his chance in the second half. They have a little technical problems on the replay. We'll have to remember that. And we have a timeout. Looks like that's going to be an official's timeout because we have an injured player down there on the field. So we're going to get back to you in just a minute while we let the team take care of this player in the field. All right, we're through. That was Fadi Youssef from the Eagles. Looks like he hurt his arm. We hope everything's going to be okay on that. Fadi's a very strong contributor to this roster for the Eagles. All right, Spartan ball second and about 18. Almost. Stefan pressure, tried to do a little screen pass. Almost picked off by Los Altos. But that's going to be an incomplete pass and 3rd down. A little frustration Los Altos, hoping they're going to handle on it. Coaching staff during the half talked to the teams. We got to think that part of what Los Altos was telling their team is that we can do this. We can still take it away. Some good play, some good momentum. Okay, 3rd down. High snap again. And Stefan is scrambling with it. He's going to see if he can throw it, and he's going to be taken down for a loss. I guess technically he's going to be run out of bounds, which I guess is a sack. Yeah, he actually got a little bit past the line of scrimmage, but that's going to still bring them, they're going to spot that almost exactly at midfield, 4th down. So I got to think that the Spartans are going to punt this. Punt squad comes onto the field. Ben Baki in the backfield to return for Los Altos. Cole Rafferty also way back there. Good punt. Cole's going to pick it up, and he's going to take it about the 22, 23, but only get a couple yards on that. But for Los Altos, they now have possession of the football, 1st and 10. You know, the second half, Los Altos will need to have to figure out the ground offense. Coach David Geronimo commented in a local newspaper that one of the advantages is that they did have a lot of time to prepare for Mountain View with the lack of games coming up, and so they had a lot of time to think about this. 1st and 10 Eagles. Handoff to number 14, Ming Park. And Ming gets stopped pretty quickly there. We haven't seen a lot of Ming Park tonight. He is usually one of the more frequent ball carriers. Okay, 2nd and 14. We got some flags down. And we'll see who started it. And it's going to be false start against Los Altos. That's going to push them back another 5 yards. And let's just call it 2nd and long. You go about 20 yards. You know, one of the silver linings of the shortened spring season was that these teams had a very short break before jumping into summer practice. 2020 football season was deferred to the spring of 2021 this year, and both teams played 6 games each. And we've got a handoff there. Zach Fagan running all the way through, trying to make his way through, makes it all the way past the 20, down to the 10. We have an 80-yard return for Los Altos Eagles and a touchdown, Los Altos, to get them on the scoreboard. That was the breakout play that the Eagles were looking for. They turned that 2nd and really long into a score. We were worried about Zach's arm, but obviously doing okay. Seeing the replay, handoff there, had them a little bit confused, and he was just able to power through it. And open field tackle attempt by number 4, Joe Brown, but Joe couldn't quite get on him, and he made it all the way home. And for the PAT is good, and so Los Altos gets on the board with 7:36 left in the 3rd quarter, 21-7, and we'll be back. We see the replay on that last play. Jimmy Flynn faked a pitch, but actually faked the pitch there, but then did the handoff, and they were confused, and Eagles were able to capitalize on that. So a good play for the Eagles. Ruslan Tavlo for the kick. Dylan Daniels. Oh, we were looking at the backfield there. And they tried an onside kick. Were not successful, but bold move by Los Altos. Caught me by surprise. I was getting ready to spot the people in the backfield, and onside kick came through. That's going to leave the Spartans with the ball in about the 47-yard line on their side of the field. First and 10 now go. Handoff run up the middle. A little bit of shoving going on there. Joe Brown, the ball carrier. 2nd and 4. Pitch to number 20, Min Khan. And it looks like Min has made a first down, but we're going to see where they spot that. No, they're gonna call that a couple yards short. So that's going to leave 3 and 2. Again, a critical stop for Los Altos. If they can get the stop here, turn their momentum around. Now it's really just a 2-possession game. And again, we're at the Pride Bowl. crazier things have happened. This football game is not over yet, and there's a lot of emotion and a lot of energy left on both sides. Third down Spartans. Handoff off to the left-hand side by Jackson Steffen's going to keep it, and he's actually going to get all the way down. It wasn't a handoff, actually kept it, and see if we can see a replay on that. Good run all the way down to about the 13-yard line. Fake the handoff, and quarterback keep, and just up the left-hand side. All right, that was a good play for Mountain View. Ball's on the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. Mincont again up the middle. And I think you're going to see this. You're just going to see Mountain View just continue to run the ball up the middle, They're going to see if they can wear down the Los Altos Eagles defense. They're ahead by 2 scores. If they can chew up some clock time and make their way up, that's their strategy. And this is their comfort zone, too. Again, very comfortable with this type of playing. We got a little spin there by Mincont, and he keeps on going. And finally, a group of Eagles got them down, but a very strong push by Min. They're going to stop him about on the 3-yard line. That's going to be 1st and goal. Just watch him spin all the way through. He's a pack of 3 or 4 defenders there. He's able to make his way through. A lot of energy for the 3rd quarter for a player that's actually gotten a lot of good activity tonight. 4:27 left in the 3rd quarter. 1st and goal Spartans. And a run up the middle for a touchdown for Mountain View. Like I said, this is their MO at this point in the game. Yeah, they just had an offensive wall and pushed on through into the end zone. Looks like they're going to go for the PAT. Player number 8, who I think is a call-up from the JV squad. We don't have his, we have his number, don't have his name, but that is good. This is the 4th PAT that number 8 has kicked, and Mountain View Spartans take a 28-7 lead with 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, and we will be back. All right, we're back, and just a quick review of that Lutz touchdown. Jackson Steffen, little quarterback keep, walking behind his offensive line into the end zone. So good play calling, actually, on both sides. And that's a bullet kick that is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. Cole Rafferty had it, which is probably to his advantage. I think Cole had an idea of trying to run that, but I'm going to guess that the touchback is going to be the better field position for the Eagles, because Mountain View was getting there pretty quickly. We were talking about the silver lining of a shortened spring season. we didn't see as much gap between the seasons, and so to some extent the teams are a little bit fresher, although they haven't had a lot of actual play time this fall. Okay. That's going to be a carry by Zach Fagan that doesn't quite really go too far. Matter of fact, Zach's going to lose maybe a couple yards on that. But again, as we've talked about, this is really just the fifth quarter that Los Altos has played this fall. You got to think just that actual experience, and in part because some of the seniors graduated, and so some of the JV matriculated. Some experience from last spring, but I think these are reps that will help both teams, and as the season goes on, as we usually see, they're just going to get better. Okay, 2nd and 12. Long throw that was, I think, intended for Zach, but overthrown. And that lands with a bit of a thud and an incomplete pass. Los Altos coach David DeGeronimo was hired as head coach at Los Altos in 2019. He has over 20 years of coaching experience from a number of actually pretty good programs. 3 and 12 now. That is dropped and fumbled, and we'll see. It may have been recovered by the Spartans, and Thomas Schumann took a bit of a hard hit on that one. We'll have to see what we can see on the replay here. Oh, Thomas Schumann tried to keep on got the pitch, but couldn't quite hold on to it. And unfortunately, that's going to be the second turnover of the game for Los Altos. And worse for them is Spartans are going to take possession on the Los Altos 10-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and goal for the Spartans. Los Altos had some momentum going as we started in the second half into the third quarter, and it looks like the Spartans may be getting some of that momentum back. I think they're trying to switch some balls there. Actually, we may have a Los Altos player that's got a cramp, so we may be in the middle of an injury timeout. Thomas Schumann. Okay. Back in the action, 1st and 10 Spartans. They are on Los Altos 10-yard line. Carry by Dylan Daniels. Dylan was able to get closer to the end zone of about 4 or 5 yards. That's going to spot the ball about on the 4-yard line. Again, 2nd and goal now for Los Altos. And Los Altos still gets the stop, able to hold them back. Again, Dylan Daniels, the ball carrier, they're just trying to run it up the middle. I think Los Altos anticipated that. And that's going to leave 3rd and goal now. The last series, Mountain View was successful with a quarterback sneak. You got to wonder if they're going to try the same play again. And is Los Altos going to be savvy to that? Handoff to Dylan Daniels again into the end zone. And touchdown for Mountain View. That's going to bring the score 34-7, 134 left in this third quarter. See on the replay there. Quick snap, handoff to Dylan, up the right-hand side, goes around the edge. I think Los Altos may have thought they've been trying to do the quarterback sneak, and Mountain View just ran around the side. Okay, for the fifth PAT of the game, low kick, but that's good, and that's going to allow Spartans to extend their lead 35-7, 134 left in third quarter, and we will take a break. There we go. We're back. Beautiful fall crescent moon, beautiful fall weather, and we've got a good kick recovered by Cole Rafferty. Cole's going to go up the left-hand side. Cole is going to make it all the way out to the 40-yard line. Another good return by Cole Rafferty. We're going to have to see if Los Altos is going to try and change things up a little bit. Maybe some of the more of the shorter passes versus some of the longer ones. First and 10. We got a pitch. Greg Schumann had that up the middle. They're going to push him back, but obviously give him credit for the forward progress. Second and 7 now. Completion to Cole. Rafferty. Good by Cole. That's going to be enough for a first down Los Altos and a chance to move into Spartan territory. Back on to Coach David DeGeronimo. His real goal is growing the program here at Los Altos. You know, he's married almost 30 years. Speaking to somebody who just had his 30-year anniversary this week himself. Two daughters have played basketball at Palo Alto High School. David's been with this program for a couple years now, going in his third year, and really trying to focus on the growth, both at the varsity and the JV level. And with that, we have the end of the third quarter. Again, 35-7 in the Pride Bowl, and we will be back in a minute. Okay, first and 10 Eagles in Mountain View territory. Uh-oh, we've got a little bobble that's going to turn into a problem. We'll see who landed on top of that. And it looks like Mountain View is making motions like they recovered that. Let's see what we see in the replay on that. No, we didn't get the replay on that, but looked like it was either in the snap or the pitch, but things went awry and went 10 yards back, and Mountain View was able to take advantage of it. So offense is going to take the field for the Spartans, and defense is going to go on, and it's going to be first and 10 Spartans on the Los Altos 34-yard line. Mountain View coach Shelly Smith is coming off a 5-6 season in the De Anza division, which was actually enough to get him in the playoffs last year. 1st and 10. The snap. Elias Santamaria, the ball carrier. And they are able to get the stop on that for essentially no gain. Although we looks like we do have an injured player down there on the Los Altos side, holding his leg, and that I'm sorry to say it looks like Zach Fagan. Hopefully just a cramp. Early in the season, it's really hard to avoid these cramps as much as these guys practice, but without a lot of reps, they are going to do that. It looks like, by the way, we had a penalty out there. That was a false start against Mountain View, so they're going to move it back while they're still attending to this player by 5 yards. So the score has not dampened the spirits of Los Altos' mascot, Eddie the Eagle. He is doing push-ups and jumping around as strong as it's been all day. Zach Fagan, I'm happy to announce, is walking back. Looks like he just cramped. Really hard to avoid cramps early in the season as much as these players trying to hydrate. They just tend to get a lot of extended action. And Zach's gotten a lot. Tends to bring on cramps. And so he's going to be out at least for a couple plays. All right, with that false start penalty, 1st and 15, Spartans. Little screen pass, and that is caught by Jerome Nerone. Check that, Drake Wilkening. Drake had that number 15. And that completion is going to get them another 10 yards back. Had they not had that false start, they would have another 1st down, but it's 2nd and 5 right now. Shelly Smith, as I was saying, actually made the playoffs with the record last year, and he's just really proud he's gotten back in the De Anza arena. So we have a handoff to Elias Santamaria going up the left-hand side, but he's going to be stopped. Lance Klug is going to get him. And again, for not a lot of gain, that's going to leave 3rd and 4. Maybe a yard on that one. Hand off to Kevin Clem. And Kevin actually gets stopped again by Patrick Gates, number 72. And that's going to be enough to hold them back. It's going to be 4th and 3rd. We're going to have to see what they do. Again, a bit out of field goal territory. Got to think they're going to go for it. No real better options. We're really seeing a pickup in this series by the Los Altos defense. Again, at this point, Mountain View just wants to eat up clock time. 9:14 left in the 4th quarter. Hand off to Kevin Clem again. Kevin runs up the middle, and it looks like it's going to be enough for another 1st down for Mountain View. Brock Bowman's helmet came off, and so he's going to have to be out for a play. He's going to be replaced by Peter Very. All right. 1st and 10 Spartans in the red zone. Handoff. Kevin Clem running out the outside, and he's doesn't quite get there. He gets pushed out about the 2-yard line. He thought he may have had the touchdown, but not quite enough. So they're going to spot that pretty close, maybe on the 2-yard line, and that's going to be 1st and goal for the Spartans. Last week, Mountain View lost by a point, and Shelley Smith viewed that narrow loss. I mean, he would have preferred to win, of course, but viewed that narrow loss really as a learning lesson, as a big step forward for the program. The total yards between the two teams were fairly close. Mountain View ran 70 plays from scrimmage last week, and we're seeing some of that success obviously translate over into this game today. Obviously, Mountain View's come with experiences from those last 2 games. And I got to think Shelley's going to be fairly pleased with his team's performance tonight. Well, actually, both coaches are. Again, we're in building mode. We knew that Mountain View was, predicted was favored in this contest tonight, and we're seeing that come through. But we're also seeing a lot of good football on both sides. And particularly for Jimmy Flynn and for his really debut in the varsity, a lot of action, a lot of throws. And quite frankly, we've had, 1 pick, and that's about it. But 1 other turnover, but not a lot of other big mistakes in this game. So we usually see a lot more in the Pride Bowl. All right, we have a timeout there. I think that was an official's timeout for the clock. Again, working on clock management issues. This is the first game of the season where the cheer squad has been back. The cheer squad was not around last spring season during the pandemic. And quite frankly, the place felt quite a bit empty. And so delighted to have the cheer squad from both teams here. Cheer squads from both teams. And it's really livening the place up. Okay, 2 yards to go for Mountain View. And they go through Dylan Daniels for the touchdown. And that's going to increase it 41-7. Dylan with a handoff, squirting up the right-hand side. You see on the replay here. He just got it and just runs around the end, finds a gap, finds a crease, goes through the crease. And again, our kicker for Mountain View, number 8. One of the newer players, wasn't on the roster. And this is going to be for the 6PAT is good. So a lot of consistency with Mountain View's kickers. 9:23 left in the first quarter. 42-7. Spartans leading the Eagles, and we'll get back. All right, Mountain View ready to kick. Los Altos ready to receive. Greg Schumann back there for Los Altos. Also Cole Rafferty, number 80. Number 8, the kicker for the Spartans. And we're ready to go. And that's about a 55-yard kick, but picked up right away by Cole. Cole is trying to weave his way through. He spins a little bit, tries to get out of it, but gets stopped at the 25-yard line. Los Altos is excited because their first game of the season, we mentioned this, they only got to play a couple quarters. They were winning 13-0, but then the air quality got above 150, and they, for health reasons, had to cancel it. I think both teams obviously would have preferred to play, but health concerns about it. And then they had a game with San Lorenzo Valley that was rescheduled, and then after it was rescheduled, it was postponed a further month because of COVID. And so just to be here tonight for Los Altos playing a full game just has to feel good for them. Probably not the result that they're looking for tonight. But again, we're at fall football and everybody's out there and we're having a good time. It's interesting, Mountain View quarterback Jackson Steffen had his first varsity game as a starter during the first of his game, and he completed 4 of 7 passes. So Jackson Steffen started this game, and he's been a starter. We got a flag down on this one. Unsportsmanlike conduct, and the way that the Los Altos players were excited about it, it's not surprising it's going against Mountain View. We're not quite sure what the conduct was, but that's going to be 15 yards and a first down for Los Altos. Now I'm confused. I thought they had called that against Mountain View, but either they're confused or I'm confused because the ball's going the other direction. So I got to think maybe it's against Los Altos. They're moving it, and so it's now going to be 1st and 25 for Los Altos. And I do not think those were offsetting fouls. 2nd and 25. Good pitch, the good throw to Cole Rafferty on the outside. Cole's trying to make his way through, spins a little bit, gets pretty close to a first down. I don't think he made it all the way to the line of game, but we'll have to see where they mark it. It's going to be, now he got pushed out 5 years forehand, so that brings them back to much more reasonable 3rd and 5 yards. Again, you just sense whenever Cole gets his hands on the ball and starts running with it, he wants to run a long way. Third and 5 Eagles. Pitch to Ming Park, number 14, and Ming gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. A good hit, a strong hit by Kevin Conway, number 18. And Ming's a little slow to get up. See a replay of that tackle there. You see the handoff to pitch back to Ming, running around. And Jackson Steffen, no correction, Kevin Conway got that, and just a strong hit, but just an open field tackle, got him down. Good news, Ming is up and walking back, so that's good to see for Ming. He's a very active player last season and the previous seasons before that. I say we haven't quite seen as much of him tonight. All right, 4th and 5, and you got to think the Los Altos is going to go for this. I mean, they want a 4:49 left in the 4th quarter. They want to do something, and so it looks like they're going to try and go get 5 yards to get a first down on this at least. Okay. Good pitch, run around the side to Forrest Anderson. Check that, Ruslan Tavro, not Forrest, Ruslan Tavlo. And he was able to get some yardage, but I don't think that was enough. And so, oh, no, actually, that was enough. I misspoke. First down, Los Altos. And so a little bit of risk on the side of the Eagles that paid off for them. And so the ball's going to be spotted on their own 36-yard line. Drake Caputo, actually a good run up the right-hand side, gets pushed out almost 10-yard marker. And they're going to spot it about a couple yards short, 2 and 8. Good to see Los Altos. Obviously, the score is against them. 3:25 left in the fourth quarter, 42-7. But they're just not giving up. I mean, you're seeing a lot of a burst of energy by these Eagles. Matter of fact, for as much play with these players as we've had, we're seeing a lot of energy between them. And maybe that goes back to the fact that they had that spring ball connected just this summer. This is the stamina we'd expect later in the season that's actually looking pretty good right now. 2nd and 2. Drake Caputo holding on to it. He tries to cut around the left and not enough, and so he's going to lose a few yards on that. 2:35 left in the game. 3rd and 5 at this point. We'll see. Looks like Los Altos coach has put in Dre in lieu of Jimmy Flynn, but we'll see if they rotate him back. We've got a bobble on the snap. A little botch snap there. Bounced around a little bit. Los Altos able to sit on it, but that's going to cost him because it's now going to be 4th and 10. 1:33 left in the game. Again, you got to think at this point, Los Altos is going to go for it. I mean, what do they have to lose? Fourth and 10. High snap to Dre. Pass intended for Forrest Anderson. Forrest couldn't quite hold on to it. And that clock's going to keep on running. About a minute left in the game. We've entered what they call the mercy rule, which means that when the score gets a certain differential between the two, the clock keeps on running. So we got a couple more snaps, if even that, in this game. Some of the varsity players that don't get to play a lot are actually getting some reps in this series. And with that turnover on downs, we're going to see a kneel down by the Spartans. The clock begins to wind down. 15 seconds left. And thus, with the final seconds ticking off, the 2021 Pride Bowl between the Mountain View Spartans and the Los Altos Eagles goes to Mountain View Spartans, finishing the game 42-7. And with that, we're going to call it. Our producer director is Josh Young today. Thank you, Josh, for your help. Camera was Breen Yoon. Jacob Peterson. Robin Frank, great camera work. Thank you very much. Special thanks to Los Altos High School, as always, for hosting it. I'm Mark Diamond. And we wish you all a good night.